Hi everyone, I hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you for tuning into my channel. So today's video is going to be the third video on my DMT experience, and when I say DMT experience I mean 5MEO DMT, which can also be found in the Bufo various Sonoran desert toad, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing that a little butchered. So, I'm not sure if you've watched my recent videos on this subject. If you have not, you can find them on my YouTube list. And I go over my first experience and my second experience. Briefly, I'll explain the first second. My first experience with 5MEO-DMT was not my first experience with DMT, but it was my first experience with 5MEO. And it was completely different from the other DMT. This one completely felt about energetically recharging you, releasing trauma patterns, reactivating. It's like you become one with this light, and this light is in your essence. You feel it in your feet, you feel it in your hands. It's like a cosmic orgasm. It doesn't mean you're gonna have one, but a lot of people have been reported to experiencing an orgasm, which is energy being released that was maybe blocked, and this medicine allows you to experience maybe that amazing orgasm you have not been able to experience, or whatever. But it also is a way of receiving the energy and allowing the energy to move through you. So my first experience was just a cosmic bliss, ecstatic laughter, gratitude, union. Second trip, I had an intention, so it was very different from my first one. My first one was just like a little nerve-wracking. I'm always very nervous going into it. And you know, just because you do have to let go and trust, and that for me has been a challenge in my life with some things. So the second time doing 5MEO, it was a very interesting experience. I almost felt like I was trapped in a time loop of rebirth, like death and creation. Like if you see some Hindu art, you will see like a figure 8, and on one side there's men going into the infinite loop, and there's a reaper kind of guiding them. And these men, actually in the beginning, they're like dying, it's like decaying. So it goes into decay, there's a reaper, and then after decay, there's like brand new person. Same person, but just brand new. So imagine being stuck in that figure 8. Boom, just like, it's like a loop, right? Loop that you've been playing over and over and over again, and I'm stuck in. I'm just like replaying it. And my way of creating a good experience is saying I love you, thank you before, and anytime that I get scared, I say I love you, thank you to shift the energy. However, I was realizing that speaking was keeping me here, keeping me almost like anchored. So I just let go. I didn't say anything. This just opens up like fractals, and then you start to feel like energy leaving your whole face, like you're shedding, like your whole skeleton like is becoming light, and you know, just you're becoming one. And then once I did that, I was able to open this new paradigm, this new world, this new creation that I've created with, you know, with source. And it showed me, it was just showing me like all these patterns, like a whole new architecture, this building. It was all white lights, but there's like a beige outlining on these buildings that were really stunning and very symmetrical. And through this white bright light vision with architecture in it. There was this pastel prism just kind of moving through. It's like creation. Like I was creating with the universe this whole new paradigm of my own reality, of my experience, and it was just a stunning experience. I cried a lot the second time. I think it was just truly having to release all of that trauma that I've experienced in my life, not just myself, but maybe carrying from my ancestors. So that was really cool. And then time went by, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then the third time came. And so the third time I went to a totally different person. First and second was through the same source. Third time was totally a different experience for me. First off, the facilitator was different, which he was great, and he has so much knowledge and very interesting protocol that he has. However, I was alone and I didn't have my support system in the room protecting, you know, guarding me, so I felt a little resistance. When you resist this medicine, you create what I've been told or perceived as a personal hell, like going to hell. Well, what is hell? Is not going towards the light, not releasing, not letting go, not trusting, right? So it's very interesting to understand and see people in previous ceremonies not fully let go, because it is intense. It's like if you've not tried it, you're gonna be like, what just happened? And there's gonna be like resistance. And so most people experience a dark and a light experience. I have not experienced too much of a dark experience, but I've experienced a stuck experience, which can be kind of anxiety driven. So the third time, I was going through a very interesting time of my life energetically, and being in the same room as people that are experiencing this. You really have to be very mindful of the energy exchange that's happening and who you're with and what you say and how you may trigger them, and you know, it's a very delicate thing, and being very mindful of it is definitely very important. So I was also in ceremonies where I wouldn't take it. I was just holding space, and because I'm trying to learn about the medicine, and somewhere along there was like this weird exchange of energy that was just in my field all the time, and I didn't want to have that connection at all anymore, because in one of the ceremonies that I was observing, I think I whispered something because I could tell that the individual that I was witnessing was having a oh shit moment, like, oh shit. So because I want people to feel safe and whatever, I said, I love you, thank you. Oh my God, it triggered them. It triggered whatever was not ready. And so they came out of experience like just really like combating my energy in a way. So I've learned about that, and I'm still trying to unravel that. So I decided to, like, after a few weeks of being around this individual, because they were around a lot at the time, that I needed to clear that thing, whatever happened there, by maybe doing it. And again, because I thought maybe subconsciously being in the room, I also was affected. So I did it again, and I didn't go to the same source because I didn't want to do it around this individual. There was like this power thing coming from him, and so if they would see that I was doing it, they would have this. They would do anything I was doing and like combat me. It was very interesting. So I went to a different source, and so this source, he incorporated human design into his work, which is really interesting. So you get to see basically your designs, the channels in your body that are open or defined, and you really get to understand your whole design and what makes you you, and where you're weak, and what you should avoid, and like, it's really fascinating. So by allowing you to understand this before you go into it, you're almost subconsciously like aligning yourself to that design so you can flourish and you can flow, and you don't have to be stuck in life which is very interesting. And if you're curious, I am a generator 2/6, so I'm a hermit role model. And you would just be like flabbergasted or like astonished at what you learn about yourself through human design and this person's reading. And this person also aligns you. He's a chiropractor, so he aligns you very well and strategically. So when you go into it, you're flowing into what you're supposed to be flowing into, and not allowing any trauma in the body or the spirit kind of hold you back or keep you stuck. So that part was really cool. But when I went into it, I resisted at the end. I didn't trust the person, like him maybe. Something just went, nope, I feel too vulnerable, I feel too open, I can't fully surrender now. So I opened my eyes and I just kind of had energy come up to my neck. I ripped my necklace off. I started like fully moving the energy that was getting stuck here and chanting. I started chanting, like maybe channeling some ancestor stuff, chanting, and just became very Native American for a second, which is beautiful. And then I started spitting stuff out. So it was definitely purging at something, which is good. And, you know, afterwards, I kind of was like trying to like hold my shit together and also like not feel vulnerable. And maybe because there was some trust issue, I didn't fully receive the medicine properly. I mean, it's received, it's just there's like some glitch there. So it's okay. Just help me realize that there's still something I have to visit and heal before I could fully move on to the next chapter. And sometimes with this integration process, you really have to understand integration and do it, because you just went into this intense experience that has completely redesigned your cells, your fractals. Like when you are no longer in your physical body, you are now energy. So now you are like math fractals, like, you know, you become that. You're redesigning, you're going into creation mode, and after dying from whatever story you were just trapped in. So that is my whole fascination with 5MEO. However, because it is something that opens you up spiritually, I feel like it's something to be very mindful of and protect yourself and make sure that you are comfortable completely letting go if you do it, because that's essentially what's going to be most effective. I feel since my experience, a lot has shifted. A lot has shifted and a lot has revisited my life. And clearly there's something I still have to work on, and I can't just keep running away and recreating. I have this problem, or this thing as an artist as well. I start something and then I'm just like on to the next. So it's consistency and patience and fully getting through the work. It's definitely the lesson. And so I don't have any plans to do it again, but I can't say I won't do it again. I'm probably going to do it again, because I feel after the last experience, like I don't want that to be my last experience. However, I am very mindful and always learning if what I'm taking is actually good for me or if it's a trend. 5MEO has not really been around like it is now, or it's becoming in the past. That it's been recorded at least. So you know, you always have to kind of experiment, but keep researching. But yeah, if you are interested in this experience, or you're aligning yourself to experience this soon, or you're thinking about it, please feel free to message me, and I will be glad to give you any of my feedback, or maybe even a reference, whatever, because this is medicine that I fully am passionate about, and the experience definitely has helped me understand my own patterns and my own subconscious. And I really can't say if it's affected me spiritually. It is something I think about. Spiritually, I'm very open-minded, but yet very discerning. I don't really know what is the truth. I try to just go with what feels right and what feels like I'm in integrity with. So I can't really give you any answers regarding that, but it's different for everybody. And yeah, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you guys may have regarding this medicine. And also, I have this formula that I've been using when I do it that has to do with astrology. So if you're curious about that, feel free to reach out too, and maybe we incorporate something together, and I'll give you more details on that. But for now, that's all I have. That's what I'd like to share with you. But thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great day, night, week, life experience.